so first of all, are you able to give us an injury update on those players that looked to be injured last Friday night? Reece Marshall, Moko, Sean Murray?
Marcus is still, he went to see a specialist today, so we're waiting the results of that. Sean Murray's available, Reece Marshall's available, so Moko's the only one we're waiting on.
And just to confirm, Joe Groh and Paddy McLean, are they both still suspended?
Yeah, correct.
And Darren Cole then played for the reserves last week, played a half. Is he in the mix for this weekend? Or is
yes, Darren's available now. He'd been building up his training over the last sort of month. He joined us early January, but he picked up about 3 weeks into his training, he picked up a slight knock. So he's had to come back from that, but he's fully fit and available now.
Good news. And more good news regarding the release of stadium funding by the looks of it as well. Do you have a wish list of what you would spend that money on at Glenavon?
Well, look, I think the initial monies that were allocated a decade ago were for a complete redevelopment of the Oval. And that was to make the Oval suitable to be a second venue for Northern Ireland. Times have moved on, and even that 10 million now, not that we're complaining about getting 10 million if that's possible, but the fact that 10 million doesn't even buy what it would a decade ago. So a complete redevelopment of the Oval might not even be possible with that amount of money. But I think considering that monies are going to be made available, that's the most positive thing. If we want our league, our football to develop, we need facilities. And it's the biggest thing that is holding football back in this country. And secondly, that would probably be our calendar, the time of the year that we play. And I think the last 10 days has been proof of that. To try to play football in this is it's not ideal.
On plastic pitches, everybody seems to have an opinion on them. As a manager, have you any opinion on would you rather play on a plastic pitch?
I'd prefer to play on grass, no doubt. The strange thing, when you speak to some youth players these days and players that are coming up through, you'll speak to an under 18, under 19 player these days, and they've never really played on grass. So they've been developed on the artificial, and so they're comfortable on it. Me as a manager, when you speak to other managers, we'd prefer grass, but we'd prefer high-end grass, high-quality grass. And I was spoiled over the years working at the international level and overseas, where the grass pitches were perfect. So if you could have an ideal grass pitch, a hybrid grass pitch that has some of the fibres through it, like the English clubs do, then I'd go with grass all day long. But when you consider the funds that it costs to put in one of those hybrid grass pitches, and you consider the climate we play in, you still would not be able to train on that pitch. So when you look at, you need a training facility, you need access for the community, you need the calendar we play in. I think all of those combined, there's only one answer: plastic pitch.
And a word on this weekend's opponents then. We're facing the Glenavon side unbeaten in 6. What are their main strengths from your point of view?
I've always said since the start of the season, we played them earlier, and they're a experienced team. They have good players. They signed well in the summer transfer window. They signed players with experience who'd won trophies. I think that was well documented by the press. So they had a good group of players that came in. I think they were expected to do more with what they had, but I think the nature of the league, it's a hard league, and they're one of those teams that they've shown that they can show up. I think it was 2 weeks ago they were at Seaview and got a result, 1-0 I believe it was. They played well against us. Games could have went either way. So in my 2.5 years here, every game against Glenavon has been a really hard one, starting from the playoff semi-final when I first came in. So they play a certain way that suits them. Like I said, it's going to be a really tough place. Mournview's always a tough place to go, and we have to respect Glenavon as always.
And a point between the top 3 in the league now, does that add extra pressure, do you think, to the players, or does that give them a bit of extra motivation?
I think probably a bit of both. I mean, nothing has changed for us in terms of going into the next game. It's exciting for the league. It's exciting for the fans. It's exciting for everyone around the clubs. I think from speaking to people that are involved in football, and I think our local media has been picking up on it, that it's currently the most exciting league. I think Stephen Baxter was quoted this week as saying it's probably the closest and tightest and most exciting league that he remembers in 35 years of football. So that's a credit to all the teams, credit to NIFL, and we're part of that. So we're happy to be part of it. I think it's brilliant what's happened, and nice to say that we're still up there towards the top.